And it is time for the hot topic of the hour, a Gallup poll finding 57% of Americans think that President Biden is likable. That's down 9% from 2020. The poll also finds the same percentage say former President Trump is a strong and decisive leader. In 2024, that's up 1% since 2020. New readings this morning to take a look at. Your opinion, your reaction.
Well, look, certainly those are encouraging numbers for President Trump, and I think it reflects what most Americans have realized, that Joe Biden has watched everything go wrong on his watch, from the economy to the border to the issues that we're experiencing abroad. And so I think you can't be dancing yet. You have to remember, you go back to 2020, as early as February, when President Trump gave his last State of the Union. Nancy Pelosi was clapping sideways and then eventually ripped up the speech because it looked like President Trump was in the driver's seat. So as we look towards a potential black swan event, we have to remember that it's not what the numbers look like today, it's what the voters are thinking when they walk into that booth on Election Day.
Well, it's an interesting backdrop here, because in an environment when you've got the Chinese Communist Party on the march, you've got Russia on the march, you've got squatters trying to take over our homes, personal safety and national security safety is top of mind, and people want to see a strong leader. Yeah. Michael.
And you know, when you travel around the world and you talk to people, they'll sit there and say a strong United States matters so much. I do a lot of work in the Baltics. They really see leadership as a key component to their security. We are going to start to see the same thing. As we begin to take a look and say, what does the world look like? Well, how do we know where we're going to be? Where is our military is going to be? And unless you can project that worldwide, it really doesn't resonate at home either.
Yeah, and that is one reason that the Trump campaign is raising huge amounts of money. Former President Trump and the Republican National Committee raised more than 3 times the amount raised in February. We heard the news first from the RNC chairman, Michael Whatley, breaking the $65 million number on this program yesterday. Watch.
We're very excited that we got $65 million in the door in March alone. We're going to raise over $40 million additional dollars for it. So we'll have the resources to take our message from one end of the country to the other.
It's a big deal in terms of fundraising now that there's new leadership at the RNC. The election campaign ended the month with $93 million in cash on hand. Your thoughts, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, look, one of the graphics we just showed that the most important issue right now, believe it or not, given all the national security issues, the border, is still the economy. And we've talked in the past about how Biden is losing ground, Trump is gaining ground with minority voters and young voters. And the most recent poll I've seen from young voters is that for people age 18 to 34, Biden won 61% of those votes in 2020. President Trump is currently ahead 47 to 40. Wow. So he's gaining substantial ground now with younger voters as well.
That's interesting.
And the main reason for that, according to this poll again, is that Bidenomics is a bust. So the economy was the most important issue to these under 30 voters. To the tune of 11% of them thought it was the #1 issue in 2020. It's now up to 47% today. So you look at these younger Americans who are unable to get ahead. The jobs that they're able to secure are not allowing them to buy a home and to move out of their parents' basement. So it's a struggle for a lot of people right now.
And the cost of doing everything, going out, services, buying food.